Hey there and welcome to Painting the Brawler, and this one's going to be a little bit different because I'm not using this faction myself personally. Maybe do the mercenaries at some point, but it gives me a rare opportunity in this instance to be able to paint something in a very different way than I would normally would. So first up, I'm going to start off with the typical give everything one colour. This is giving me my base colour tint, and for this one I'm going to be using heavy green because we are going to head towards the green camouflage patterns. Here we go then, here's a heavy green. Underpaint, underpaint. And now we're going to embark on a somewhat odd exercise in some respects, because I'm going to treat this as an illustration rather than as painting a miniature. So, going to use some funky illustration type techniques. So I'm going to choose an under highlight for underneath the bottom edges of everything, so as if it's uplit from the bottom. And I'm going to pick a down light, which will be coming down. And so if I was doing it, I would imagine there was a light about here, say, and that light would be shining up, and so I want to pick all the edges based on that one light source. And then if I have a light sort of up here shining down, then again I want to pick all the angles in the opposite direction in accordance with that, and I want to treat it as if there's one light on one side of the person and one light on the other side of the person, and then there'll be a transition in between, so we'll get the in theory we'll have a nice clean rotational blend of one light source to another light source, and then we'll start dealing with the sort of the mid light source, if you like, that runs in between everything. Here we go then. So this is the top angle looking down, and I've used magic blue. So this is my down light as such, or my highlight looking down. And as you can see, it doesn't wrap all the way around. It's a single angled lighting effect. And as we rotate around, you can now see the pink, and the pink is the uplight. So that's coming from this angle looking up. As you can see, it comes into view. So that's going to be my transition. My transition is from a blue downlight, imagine it's like a blue sky, whereas red light's on the floor, say. And if you look through graphic novels, this is quite a common theme where they use a blue highlight on one edge and a pink highlight on another to create contrast, but also to have highlighting effects with a sense of atmosphere. So next up, just gonna introduce a mid highlight, if you like, something which will transition between these two different highlighted areas and be the green highlight, although I'm going to take it more towards a browny, khaki kind of a green for the moment. So we'll do that and see you in a second. Here we go then, put in the transitional colour. So I've used heavy grey because in the opaque range the heavy grey has a strong green tone to it. And this just provides a transition of a similar tonal range. So next up I'm going to run highlights on all of this using pale flesh for the pink. I'll mix a touch of white in with the blue because I don't actually have any other blues, or any pale blues anyway, and khaki on the green areas, and I'll do the khaki last, so that if anything goes over the top of anything else, it'll be khaki going over the top of the pink and over the blue, because at the moment I want the khaki to sit to the front, and I might switch that around later. Here we go, we've done the light blue, light pink, khaki highlights, and introduced white to the gum. And now gonna do a series of careful ink washes. I know this is unusual for me, normally I just blap in the whole miniature in a single ink, but first up I want to apply black to the weapons specifically, so just to the guns and not to the holster for the pistol. Here we go then, this is inks applied. I've done a thin black ink on the weapons as said, and a green black with a hint of the dregs of the black ink in it, ink over the rest of the body. And that's well, acting as my blender as far as I'm concerned. As you can see, it hasn't really knocked out the blue very much. It's very much retained itself, and it hasn't knocked out the pink very much. It's very much retained itself. On the flip side, the black has knocked them back quite hard. Also, applied a bit of black to the visor, and last thing I'm going to do on this phase is just start the fade on the visor, and do that from the bottom left hand corner to the top right, and the bottom left hand corner and the top right hand corner. I'm going to leave them black. I'm going to introduce a bit of brown coming away from those corners, spreading around the blue, and then I'll introduce yellow to the middle of that around the blue and going into the top left hand corner and bottom right hand corner. You'll see what I mean in just a moment. Here we go then. Here's the base of the visor put in as such, and it's fading, starting with heavy sienna, painting this heavy sienna from the top left hand corner to the bottom right hand corner, but leaving the black in the corners and then using a little bit of black ink to fade the brown back into the black. Then over the top of that I've painted golden brown, again covering most of the heavy sienna from the top left hand corner to the bottom right hand corner, again going around the blue that was in the middle, and again mixing some of that with some heavy sienna and blending that back into heavy sienna. Then using a slight ink fade over the top, not ink fade, sorry, just yellow paint, no, white highlights, the white highlights, the diagonal slash white highlight then went over the golden brown, also over the blue eye, with a slight squiggle through the blue, and there's a dash top and bottom of the blue as well, just to act as integration for the blue, to start mixing it with the other colours. Then it had a layer of yellow put over the top very thinly, and finally a hint of orange, and it's a Blood Angel orange paint, so it's a pure orange pigment, so it's very thin, but even then I've watered it down even more and just run that into the bottom left hand corner over the black, and over the top right hand corner over the black, just to try and bring some binding factor and introduce some orange into the recesses so that the mask as a whole is framed and there's a sense of luminousness coming from inside. But again, in the highlight phase this will all get worked on. So there we go, that's the base toning complete, and she's looking pretty mean already. Do you like it when a plan comes together? And this just gives an interesting lighting method. Also in the final phases and in the highlighting process, that's when all the different colours will become apparent. So a smock will go one way, the helmet will go another way, different colour ranges will get introduced, or different variations on green, and some things will get pulled right up to cream, etc. or what other colours. So there's some interest used to you, and all of your stuff's coming out really well. Thank you for watching, have a good one and take care. Bye bye.